Wolfgang Van Halen. New album, new song and the story so far. On June the 11th, 2021, Wolfgang Van Halen will release his debut solo album, Mammoth Wvh, via X1 Records Explorer Music Group. The album will consist of 13 tracks plus Distance, the beautiful, extremely moving song Wolfgang wrote for his father Eddie Van Halen, which was released last year and topped the charts. Distance was accompanied by home movie footage of father and son, Eddie and Wolfgang, which has been viewed over 4 million times on YouTube. It wasn't intended to be on this album, but due to fans' demands, it has been included as a bonus track. Mammoth might be an apt title for the album, a very apt title, because I feel that the young Van Halen has set himself a mammoth task. One, he has to go out and create his own sound, something that is uniquely his own. There are going to be endless comparisons with his father, endless. Also, Van Halen were a massive band, one of rock's all-time greats and one of the biggest bands ever. Would Wolfgang be comfortable with playing small arenas, a modest career, modest success, or would he want to go out and conquer the world like his dad did? The latter, I suspect. He also plays everything on this album and sings, and when you do that, it can often sound like it's a homemade album. It can lack feel and doesn't quite gel together. Even Todd Rundgren, the studio wizard and a master of doing everything yourself. On certain albums, he plays everything, he sings everything, he produces it, he probably even packages the records for sale. As good as he is, it does sound like one man doing everything, a one-man band, and a bit sterile and a bit lacking in feeling. On the 2 tracks Wolfgang has dropped so far, he's pulled it off. It's so cohesive. It sounds like a band playing. Now, on top of all of this, every time Wolfgang picks up a guitar, every note he plays is going to be examined. He too has to come up with his own guitar style. And on the evidence of the new track, You're to Blame, he does it. He's pulled it off again. So to achieve everything I've just said would take a lot of self-belief and courage. And then there is the other question. How would he perform live? Well, on February the 11th, 2021, we got to see Mammoth Wvh on the Jimmy Kimmel Show. We had Wolfgang on guitar and vocals, Ronnie Ficario on bass, Garrett Whitlock on drums, John Jordan, guitars and vocals, and Frank Sidoris also on guitars. The song they chose to do was Distance. Now, that would not have been easy, not at all. Wolfgang started off a bit, I guess, blitzed by emotions. You want a baptism of fire? This is it. But as the track progressed, his singing and performance just got better and better and better. And he absolutely nailed it. I reckon Eddie would have been so proud. Fair play to you, Wolfgang. In a recent interview with Rolling Stone magazine, Wolfgang discussed some of the new songs. Track 1 is called Mr. Ed. Wolfgang says, I jokingly called it that because I open it up with a harmonic tap and I tap in the solo, and it just reminded me of Dad. Think it over. This is just a straight up pop rock song. Dad loved the energy of the song and it made him very happy. Don't Back Down. Wolfgang says the demo title for this song was Sabbath. The whole vibe of the song is just sports arena, just hands up in the air, yelling for your team, going absolutely nuts. Well, so far in my eyes, Wolfgang is 2 for 2. And if the album is as good as the first 2 tracks, we are in for a real treat. But just go and take a close listen to You're to Blame. There is so much going on in that song, from the Rage Against the Machine type riff to the rock solid rhythm section, the wonderful sense of dynamics and those beautiful harmonies. It's one album this year I'm certainly looking forward to. I'm going to finish this video with two little Eddie Van Halen stories. For this album, Wolfgang played one of the most valuable guitars in the world, his father's original self-modified Frankenstein. My dad was there when we took it out, he says. That guitar is obviously priceless. Ed picks it up and starts playing it and says, "It feels about what I remember," and kind of tossed it onto the couch, and all of us in the room were going, "Oh." To him, it's just like this piece of trash he put together for a couple of $100, but to everyone else, it's the most iconic guitar in the history of music. So to see him do that was such a funny thing. Back in the 70s, Eddie and his brother Alex used to go to the LA clubs to see a friend of mine play, the great guitarist Randy California. And later on, I think it was about 1990, Randy was to have a jam in a place called Trancas in California, and if Eddie was around, he'd travel, he'd come and see Randy play. Eddie was often asked to come up on stage and play with the band, to join in and have a jam, but he just shook his head, waved his hand and said, "No man, it's your gig, I'm just here to watch, I'm enjoying just watching." I think Eddie knew that if he got up on stage, it would all be about Eddie Van Halen, because at the time, Van Halen were a major band. And I just love the humility of the man, you know. Yeah, I could have got up on stage, I could have done this, but no, I recognise that it's these guys' gig, and I'm just here as a fan to enjoy. So I'm really looking forward to this album coming out on June the 11th, and if it's ever possible, I'd love to see Mammoth Wvh play live. That would be something. Let's hope we get back to those days. Please take care, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.